What do you want to be when you grow up? I used to want to be everything under the sun. I used to write short stories about my friends and I going on adventures and thought, well, I'll be an author, and famous actors and actresses will act in my movies. I took drum and piano lessons, and then I wanted to be a famous musician. I tried baking, and suddenly I wanted to be the world's best pastry chef. I liked to dress up and play pretend, so I wanted to be a famous model or an actress. What do you want to do? What do you want to major in? I had no idea. When college was around the corner, I had no clue what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I had some interests, but none of them made me feel excited to do them for the rest of my life. At this time, I had a fairly successful YouTube channel, but as high school neared an end, so did my passion for YouTube. It started as a fun hobby, but as my channel grew, I felt obligated to make viral content instead of content I wanted. I decided, well, I'm good enough at making YouTube videos, but I only film on my phone and edit on iMovie. Maybe I can learn how to use a camera. So I decided to go to UCF and major in radio and television. Quite frankly, my first year of college was probably one of the worst of my life. As I started taking my major classes, I wasn't all that interested. I dreaded going, but it's not like I could change majors. I wasn't really interested in anything else. I became depressed. That summer, I highly considered dropping out. Why am I spending money on something I don't care about? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? What do I want to be for the rest of my life? Happy. I wanted to be happy. I didn't want to live the rest of my life feeling how I felt then. So I decided to give it another try. The next year, I would continue classes, but while I attempted to learn how to use a camera, I would also attempt to learn what I'm passionate about, what makes me happy. Maybe I can find my passion by exploring what I like to do. So, what do I like? Well, I liked being in front of the camera. I always enjoyed being in other people's projects and getting to act in them, but I also like being behind the camera and doing the behind-the-scenes things like editing. Well, the logical conclusion then is to be a YouTuber or something, but I already did that. I tried a few more times to get back into it, but to no avail. I had lost my passion for YouTube. No, it's not just that. I had lost my passion for everything. As a kid, I loved reading. I would always read ahead in the textbook for class because I was so excited to learn. But as I entered high school and finished college, I never touched them. As a kid, I had so much drive and passion, so much excitement to learn about the world. But now here I was, passionless, motivationless, and lost. So I asked the most driven, passionate person I know for help, my younger self.
You take yourself too seriously. You worry too much about what other people think. You worry too much about what you could have done differently in the past. You worry too much about what you will do in the future. You spend all your time thinking and worrying instead of playing.
So I played. I played in my backyard. I explored the plants and pretended I was a giant in a magical forest. I swam and pretended I was a mermaid with magical powers. I wasn't worried about the assignment I had due next week because in that moment, none of that mattered. I played like I did as a child, and I felt the same kind of youthful joy in the world that I once did. So I kept playing. I cooked dinner and pretended I was a famous chef on my own cooking show. I cleaned my apartment and pretended I was Cinderella. I attended studio class and pretended that I was a director on a giant production. School became fun. With each new day, I got to play pretend as something new. A producer, a director, a radio host, a voice actor, an editor, a filmmaker. I started to find passion in everything again. I can be anything I want in this world, and the fun part is figuring that out. I fell in love with learning again, and this is what I learned. I learned to be present. The past only exists in our memories and the future in our imagination. All we have is now. I learned not to worry so much. If something bad happens, it already happened. Worrying about it just makes me suffer twice. Same for if I worry about something in the future. If things don't go well, I suffer then and when I spent all the time worrying. It's no use worrying about what I can't control. Something I can control, though, is I learned to keep a backup hard drive of all of my footage, and to check pants pockets for rogue flash drives before washing. I learned that cameras are really heavy, like, so fucking heavy. I learned that meditation is as good as everyone says it is. I have anxiety and my brain also moves too fast for my own good sometimes. Meditation really helped me learn how to clear my mind. I learned how to schedule. I used to be a serial procrastinator, but now I schedule out my week and it really helps me make sure that I have time to do the things that I need to do and the things that I want to do. I learned that getting up early is kind of awesome. I always wanted to be a morning person, and it wasn't easy to become one, but I finally got in the habit of getting up early, and I absolutely love it. The morning's so quiet, and it's always so beautiful to see the sunrise and hear the birds chirping. I love the morning time. I learned that I'm afraid of failure. It hurts a lot less when you fail because you didn't try. I stopped trying and putting in so much effort because I was scared to fail. I learned that I'm afraid of heights. I learned to fall in love with life, with every part of it. The way the light comes in my window in the morning, the way cut grass smells, the way people's face light up when they talk about something they're passionate about. I learned that I love to learn. There's so much to learn, so many cultures, so many languages, so many instruments, so many foods, so many hobbies, so many people. What do you want to do when you graduate? I don't know. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Who can say? I don't know exactly where I'll be after graduation or what I'll do, but I started college feeling like there is nothing in the world I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And here I am finishing it, having learned I want to do it all. I will continue to explore my passions. I will continue to learn and grow. I will continue to pursue what makes me happy. I don't know what the future will hold. That used to scare me tremendously, but now it excites me. There's a trillion different paths I could go down. Who knows which one I'll choose? But how exciting and lucky am I to be alive and get to choose how I will spend that life? I learned there's nothing that I can't do. If I think I'll fail, I'll fail. If I think things won't go my way, then they won't go my way. Luckily, I think everything will turn out fine.